Hello, hello, hello. Welcome to Psi Divine. I hope all is well with you and yours. This is a just general energy reading. I don't believe it applies to anyone watching, but just awareness of what's going on in the world, because without question, if you are watching the news at all, there's a lot of stories that are being shared and a lot that are not being shared, and then there's the stuff that just isn't going to be said, but you see it. But the world is a vampire, so I'm not sure what's going to come out. This is test but not a test reading, because it just feels like there's something that needs to be made aware. Just awareness for the new world around us all now at this time, particularly the northern Americas. You know what I'm saying. The northern Americas and all that stuff. Things to consider, a little bit more than consider, but also be aware. What's going on behind the scenes that you don't see, why, the message. And that is one of the reasons I chose the title UFO and alien stuff. But UFO, I don't mean unidentified flying object. What I mean by UFO, or what I was hearing, is unidentifiable fear objective. Unidentifiable fear obstruction. Unidentifiable fear opposition. You can see my... So some of the work is really just part of my studying, which is constant. I'm a student always. I don't usually consider my messages done until all of the letters fit, or there's like one or two left out at worst case scenario. But so right now the message is not done, but it does give the sense of there being a message. On a earthly level, looking ahead for some time, there's going to be heightened danger. Okay, what I'm feeling here, over the next couple of months, there will be more conversations about food. You're going to hear more news about food, water, coming to a screeching halt, transportation things that will be suddenly stopped. These things will affect family. I mean, we're all going to deal with these things as they put more walls around mealtime. And so it goes from, it feels like one major thing is the culprit. So this can deal with blockages, things that come to a screeching halt. that is going to be something that's going to happen at some time soon. I get the energy of a big supply chain or a normal way of bringing food in is interrupted. There's more letters, but let's just clarify that. Clarify new wall around me. So what I don't like about this is that there's a hidden aspect and there's hidden stuff again. And agendas. Secretive ones. So this will be stock shelves, supplies going down to skeleton values, or at least what will very much look like that's what's happening. There will be talks of safety, blah, blah, blah. They will talk about people working, creating new paths to getting things done. There will be threats and arguments around that. This is my card of poverty. Poverty, entanglements. I'm going to stop there. Let's move on with other letters. So it's going to get quiet again. There sure is a lot of need for awareness, balance, clarity, being clear-mindedness in relations with others. Use your intuition at this time. There is an agenda. 2 can also be High Priestess. Okay, let's clarify what exactly the ladies need to be aware of at this time. Be aware of who's watching you. This is a time of ultra weirdos. Okay, and yeah. Be aware of your surroundings, even more so than ever. There is a new type of male that has been scattered about the nation. What I just heard was seasonal ambush. And there it is again. Okay. There's just going to be at this time, and when I say at this time, I mean for a couple of years, provided everything goes as the agenda decides. Specific energies were brought in. There is words I could say, but I don't know if it triggers the algorithm. Let's just say they're sleeping in a special way. And this is consequences for all involved. Definitely insider information. Be very careful of the high increase of this is like male thirst on crack. I'm sorry, masculines. I know all of y'all ain't down with that. But the message is here. So if it ain't your data, don't, you know what I'm saying? Just look out for the ladies. Look out for us. Because there's a new world and it's going to get worse. Just do backup advice for the ladies, then I'll move the letters around and see if there's anything else. This is a time of evolution, or we're going to repeat things. Unfortunately, so be aware of your surroundings, ladies, gentlemen. If you give a flying fig about your home or where you live in general, the surroundings are going to be intentionally created, that the energy is being ramped up. Okay? And then, you know, I talk about things in orbit, what you put in orbit, and then there are things that are forced into the orbit, or at least we perceive it as force. At this time, though, because others are perceiving things as force, and everyone's just, you know, living, surviving, right? We all are. Because of that situation, there's going to be some wave patterns as we go through this shift. And this wave pattern is going to be very chaotic. And it's things that shouldn't be a part of the equation, but they are. So not only make sure you're a little more safe, you know, going out. If you're a woman, you got to walk by yourself. Just for me in my stripper days when I might have worked at a bad club or two, I would not walk outside without having like, excuse me, having a key strategically placed in your hand, like nails. I don't have anything over here to show it. Oh, let's see. Okay, so like if this were a key and walk outside, you know, you got it in your hands like this, and there are trinkets you can buy at stores, things that can be also a backup device to gouge an eye out or two. Now, can't do much about bullets, but for someone accosting you, it is imperative that you just be paying more attention. And definitely like watching the weird people, okay? But there's definitely, as I sensed back in October, a wave of wild energy coming through. We're on that wave. We're on a wave like that again. Not the same kind of wave, but it's another, yeah. Okay. So this wave energy pattern involves your safety. This one involves better plans when going out, doing things. You want to get wild and crazy, definitely make sure your people are with you. This one is about the health of environments as we go through changes that are confusing. Right? And the part of the confusion is seeds that were planted in the gardens where you live. Okay. So get to know your neighbors, get to know the people around you, pay more attention to your neighborhoods. Safety seems to really be a thing. And make sure your hobbies are a little bit safer. Choose some hobbies that are safer. Count your blessings and want to be around them. This just feels like a time. Be very careful of your own energy, right? So if you find that yesterday you was feeling all right and suddenly today you can't manage, it could be things going on around, but also be aware of the general energy pattern. And I like to look at the general energy pattern on this planet like a wind, like a solar wind or a cosmic wind that would circulate the entire globe. And we would all feel it, or we would all deal with, I was about to say suffer, sometimes yes, we would all be dealing with the effects of that shifting wind or that intense wind. Or sometimes there's no wind. But in this instance, the wind that's coming around, I would liken to turning on a blow dryer for your hair on the hottest setting and pointing it at the back of your head. Okay, that's just the image part I saw. Let's move on. Go in on some more letters. Okay, so what I'm sensing here is there's going to be, between here and the end of the year-ish, if not sooner, there's going to be a lot of places suddenly relaxing rules on guns. You're going to see a lot more of that, a lot more shooting, as we saw today. That's kind of one of the things that kind of like said, okay, what the fuck? Let's look into this. Yeah. So this enhances the experiences that others have to go through. Extended experience. Let's look into that. You know what? Let's look at the mind of the mindset of the top decision maker that you don't see, that's making things happen regarding the real ammunition. What is the mindset? Okay, to influence plans regarding safety, or always the illusion of such. It's to ease, it sounds like it's to ease fears and stuff, but really it creates chaos and impulsive behavior. So it's like an attempt to give protective balance, but it's all perception. And okay. So there's a plan that isn't going as planned. So the response to allow crazier things or protective things, the act of allowing it is intentional. Yeah. Influence comes out twice. And the pop quiz, and this is in reverse, so it's like trying to go back to old ideas, but it's a different world now. So pop quiz, back to back, sudden awareness. It's to send a message to everyone. It's a response to things getting out of control. Power. It's power and ego. And it's overgeneralizing the way to respond to things. Wow. At the bottom, sacred wisdom. So there's like multiple twos going on. Yeah, so it's like someone trying to restore balance by letting things get, but someone's already let things get out of hand. Clarify the ignorance. More serial events. Quietly, they're not going to say that they're aware that it's the enemy. They'll call them gangs, groups. Part of this situation, though, is going to breed greater separation for people who might not have gone through the same route as others to get into the U.S. or any other northern region. And the thing is, this has been done in other places. So there's a general idea of how it's going to work, but it's a general idea. And this involves people who came for freedom and were kind of dropped off and then abandoned. Some were flown, some were driven. There's groups dropped off into specific neighborhoods. And Then the call for intervention. It alters the lifestyle. There will be greater suggestions of containment. Side note, I just saw a church shooting. So there may be some, if it's not shooting, there's going to be some catastrophic event around a church between here and 3 months. Good Lord, false person. At the bottom, TV. Yeah, I can't go further on the church shooting except to say that it will be someone inside who's been watching the place. It's a secret insider. So it can't be someone who's suddenly new first day or so. And they're already inside. This is so dark. I'm sorry. Forced. Clarify the, let's see. Clarify the mind of the one who feels forced regarding the church. I'm just looking real quick. Why do they do it? Tell me about the author. I really get the energy of restoring control by releasing certain energies who maybe not all want to do the work, but there it is. They will be rewarded for such. So they're waiting. So they're waiting. They accept the offer, they move on. Very impulsive energy. So, yeah. Just expect more insanity. Certain energies were brought in who are going to start being a little bit more visible. And when I say visible, I mean events, news. You're going to see more of them talking about it because it's going to start affecting the news writers. And that's where the push to allow greater levels of protection, but it also presents greater levels of danger too. Okay. If you see any words I missed, feel free to drop them into the comments. But it looks pretty simplified here. The aim is a new world. Experiences and things that affect us on an individual level. So I'll just do angel cards behind this. Guidance for collective. Help each other more. Yeah. Let me move this. We don't have to stop chasing failure. It'll be chasing a lot of us this year, next 2 years. Be prepared for different types of rule, law, and order. I do get the impression that we're being pushed into a position where we will be asking for it, begging for it, and that's how they get the control, right? So it's a karmic block, a created one. So it's magic, getting everyone spellbound, stalling, what looks like stalling things out because of issues, people wanting protection, people wanting others to be brave on their behalf, while everyone's missing the chosen cycle. That sucks. But the goal is to make you feel helpless. Be aware of that, Buddha. The goal is to help you feel helpless, a little bit more helpless. That way you beg for help. And it is a part of the goal. So if you got the message, you got the message. If you didn't, you didn't. It just feels like a general message. If it needs to be taken further, I will in future readings, but I did feel like I needed to get that out. So hopefully you kind of enjoyed it and you're more aware or whatever. And if you enjoyed it, like, comment, subscribe, and all that stuff. And hopefully we are well and stay that way. Take care of your loved ones and watch out for even the ones you hate. Because the world is different and it's affecting all of us, whether you see it yet or not. Be well.